The year is 850. Imagine a Europe still haunted by the grandeur of the Roman Empire, yet struggling to define its own identity. Charlemagne, crowned emperor in 800, had united much of Western Europe, but his vision of a unified Christian empire was fading. His grandsons, driven by ambition, had torn the empire apart. The Treaty of Verdun in 843 divided the realm into 3 kingdoms. This set the stage for the emergence of France, Germany, and Italy. Charles the Bald inherited the Western Frankish kingdom, now modern-day France. His kingdom faced internal divisions and external threats. Viking raiders wreaked havoc along the coasts and rivers. These fierce warriors from Scandinavia were a terrifying force. They pillaged monasteries, sacked towns, and instilled fear. The Vikings exploited the fragmentation of the Frankish kingdoms. Their long ships allowed them to strike deep inland at the heart of Francia. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty of the 9th century, a new social and political order began to emerge: feudalism. With the Carolingian monarchy in decline, local lords became the primary providers of security and justice. In a world where loyalty was fluid and danger was ever present, a system based on personal oaths of allegiance arose. This was the essence of feudalism. Powerful lords granted land known as fiefs to lesser nobles in exchange for military service and loyalty. These vassals in turn swore oaths of fealty to their lords, promising to fight for them in times of war and provide counsel in times of peace. Feudalism, while providing a semblance of order in a fragmented world, also had its drawbacks. It created a complex web of obligations and allegiances, often leading to conflict and instability. Lords, both great and small, were constantly vying for power and influence. Feuds over land, inheritance, and honor were commonplace. The peasantry, tied to the land and at the mercy of their lords, bore the brunt of these conflicts. They toiled in the fields, providing the agricultural surplus that supported the feudal system. In return for their labor, they received protection from their lord, though this protection was often tenuous. The Viking incursions, once sporadic raids, were becoming increasingly frequent and devastating. Their impact on Francia was profound. Monasteries, repositories of learning and culture, were plundered and burned. Towns were sacked and their inhabitants massacred or enslaved. The Vikings' military prowess, combined with their ruthlessness, spread fear throughout the land. Their long ships, fast and maneuverable, allowed them to strike quickly and disappear before any organized defense could be mounted. However, the Vikings were not simply barbarians bent on destruction. They were skilled seafarers, traders, and explorers. They established settlements in Francia, most notably in the region that would become Normandy. From these bases, they integrated into Frankish society, adopting the local language and customs. The Vikings' presence, while initially disruptive, ultimately had a significant impact on the development of France. They introduced new shipbuilding techniques, trading networks, and cultural influences. In these turbulent times, the Catholic Church remained a beacon of stability and hope. Monasteries, despite being targeted by Viking raiders, continued to be centers of learning and piety. They preserved ancient texts, cultivated the arts, and provided education to a select few. The Church also played a vital role in providing social welfare, offering aid to the poor and sick. Bishops and abbots wielded considerable power in their own right, often acting as mediators between feuding lords. They were influential figures in both secular and religious affairs. However, the Church itself was not immune to the corruption and power struggles that plagued the secular world. Simony, the practice of buying and selling church offices, was rampant. Bishoprics and abbacies were often treated as feudal fiefs, granted to the sons of powerful families rather than those best suited for spiritual leadership. These abuses, while undermining the Church's moral authority, did little to diminish its influence on the lives of ordinary people. Religion remained central to medieval life, providing comfort and solace in a world beset by uncertainty and violence.